Greetings and welcome to Die Dragon Die presents the Grimstone Chronicles Season 2, Episode 44. When will this chapter end? No, that's actually pretty good. It's arguably, it's several chapters into one chapter. Adam just has a lot of catching up to do. Epic adventure for Southern Band. which Mark and I have offered to help out, flesh out.
I've got a section I have to hand over to Mark. It's like, there's this place, and I want you to make it more interesting than the module.
Well, that's half the job of incorporating a module into your game, right? Like like the Kabranex Node is not part of any of the modules that I'm smooshing together. No, it's not. This is
part of the mind.
Yeah,
we are in the tomb of Kabranex.
The first and third level adventure for beginner D&D people. No, I read through it and went, that's interesting idea. A mine. and used none of the encounters in the last half of the book.
Well, what's the book CR? Like, what CR are we supposed to be running through?
Yeah, first through third. First through third, I think.
Yeah, does this feel like a first through third level?
Thunder Tree is in this, so whatever marked into it, there was a baby green dragon in Thunder Tree in the module. That's as close as, you know.
There's a baby green dragon. We tripped over it and it died when we were walking to the town. Oh, shit. Oh.
Anyway, so yeah, take modules, take the basic idea, and regurgitate them. How is everyone doing on this fine Saturday afternoon? Ahmed, how are you doing? Good?
I'm good.
Yeah, okay, all right. Awesome. Mark, how are you doing? Excellent. Adam?
Doing
Great.
good.
All right, I'm doing okay. So let's do a recap of what happened last time.
Well, there was this one thing.
This might be take two. Like, do you really want to share that information with everyone for posterity that anyone could go and look up? No, let's do a redo. Awesome. All right. Let's do a recap of what happened last game. Atomic Adventures. In an attempt to escape, the Kabranex Node emergency teleports away to a location suitable for rebuilding. Rebuilding its machine slave army. Slake and Cog go along for the ride at the risk of becoming a slave to the machine gone mad. Quick thinking and even quicker action has the rest of the party following closely behind. The Steelrose Expeditionary League faces a most lethal foe that has one final failsafe, a self-destruct sequence powered by its radioactive atomic core.
The atomic explosion.
That was fun watching you guys panic around that. And
Try to not die?
Try to not die and then...
I can't believe it's like, we shouldn't hit it. It's going to explode.
Yeah.
150 damage. Okay, guys, why don't we 300 more damage?
Deep in the halls of Undertown, the party picks through the remnants of the Kabranex Node, plundering its technological and magical devices. I think the party has decided to take a quick rest here, or basically an evening's rest in this location. What precautions are you putting up in this area?
Alarm spells.
So there's a swath of alarm spells. Okay.
And the Mage's Private Sanctum.
There's a Mage's Private Sanctum that's around the area and around the device itself.
What's the radius of the Mage's Private Sanctum?
It's 20. I think it's 20 feet radius. Let me double check.
Undertown. So the Mage's Private Sanctum is centered on the Kabranex Node.
Yeah, I think it gets it all.
And then how many alarm spells? Those are 20-foot radius as well, right, Mark?
Mage's Private Sanctum. Sorry, it's a 30-foot cube per level, Marty.
Oh, that's much larger.
It's much larger. So basically, I'll do this area that we're in. This entire area, 30-foot cubes. Yeah, it's going to fill this entire.
A 30-foot cube per level. Yeah. So this entire area then is.
Yeah.
Cool.
It takes me 10 minutes to do, so it's fine. There's already a rope trick from 6-1, and then Thogrim's going to throw another rope trick up. I think healing's the next thing we're going to chat about. There's a lot of messed up people.
So you basically Mage's Private Sanctum that area.
Yeah.
And then there are alarm spells, and they're 20-foot radius mark.
Yeah.
Put place at the doors.
Yeah.
So that would
Nice.
be 3. A fourth one if you wanted to alarm like both the entrance to the Kabranex Node and the entrance to your
Yeah. I got the spell. I got that.
to your 2 rope tricks, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I just stuck all the injured Gronks up into one rope trick and the spellcasters into another.
Okay. 6-1 does not have the ring of sustenance, so he actually needs 8 hours sleep. Thogrim doesn't.
Does he as the simulacrum? Or
I think he's just
As an arcane spellcaster, he still needs it. He needs the rest.
He needs the rest for spellcasting. Yeah. I assume he's not a contract, and I treat him exactly like I would a character, except he's only worth 3K.
All right. So if for those outside of the rope trick, Slake does spend some time. He spends about an hour repairing himself. He made his check by 1, but does get 4 times his hit level and hit points back, which is enough to heal himself. So I'll take off 1 use of his.
Is it 4 times?
It's 4 times if you take an hour at the same DC.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Sunny is going to use a Pearl of Power to return Mistra back into tiny form.
Okay.
Like, so that I have her available to teleport to Mistra.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep. Mr. Nuzzles you a little bit. Like.
Don't worry, you'll be back soon. Oh, I know. There we go.
All right, and I made a big collection of extra tokens off to the side
Yeah, I
because
saw
your
that.
party
That's
is starting to
just collect.
collect stuff.
Did I need the treasure stitching or not, Marty?
You need 8. What did I say? 8 fabricates,
8
to
fabricates.
fully collapse all the material here. You used 1 to collapse the metal plating.
Yeah.
And it's now this huge hunk of heavy metal. So you probably need your treasure stitching to carry it.
Okay, because treasure stitching is only a 10 by 10. Give me a second.
Slake isn't hurt, is he?
No,
No,
he
it's fine.
repaired himself.
Okay, so Sunny's gonna. It looks like Rigid and Brennos are the only ones who are still hurt.
Yep.
So Sunny's gonna start just jamming through.
Goes over and plays doctor. Yeah.
Well, he's gonna cast a bunch of cleric spells.
There is a heal in Cog's cloak at an 11th level heal. So
Eamon took that, right?
Eamon has 110 damage.
so that'll top you off. Cog has some other potions if you need it, but let the cleric do his job.
So Cog is sacrificing one of his highest level extracts per day.
It's a 5th level extract.
to keep
I have
this
to do it at
sacred.
the beginning of the day.
Yeah, to keep this sacred artifact powered.
Yeah, it gives them DR5. There's a bunch of things, and the saves increase. The saves from the cloak increase to the level of the bard song that's impacted. Yeah.
That's awesome.
To all saves,
Yeah.
not just.
Yeah. That's
All saves, yeah.
All right, that thing you picked up a while back, it was one of the items that got more powerful when you turned 11th level, effectively. Sunny is healing up
13th,
Widget and
actually.
Brennos.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, 13th level?
Because I need to sacrifice a 5th level extract, and I only got 5th at 13th. So how many characters actually took the delayed consumption death award combo that Cog was offering?
I think Amadeus does. Let me double check.
because he offered it to everybody.
It's just a potion, right? Yeah, agony.
So delayed consumption is you drink 2 potions, and within the next character level days, you can use it as immediate action. So the one chosen is
everybody wants it. It's how many are available.
Since we leveled, so you can do 2 a day.
So have you been ticking off 2 per day?
No, he's used when we weren't traveling. He's using 2. When we were, he's using 1 because he has to sacrifice 1.
Okay, right now I've got Amadeus with a delayed consumption for love.
And then agony will take the delayed consumption death ward.
Okay, so there's 1 today with the death ward. Okay, so agony gets today's death ward. Thogrim has 1. Cog has 1. I can prepare a few death wards tomorrow as well. We don't have to.
Agony does also sheepishly walk up to Sunny because he's not feeling too good.
Ooh. Yes. Might I take a moment to look into your eyes? Somebody was trying to. He's going. What kind of poison does this guy have on him?
Is it detect poison?
Well, give me a second. I think I've got detect poison. I'm immune to poison. And I have detect poison, and I'm going to cast detect poison on him.
Okay, a character with craft alchemy may try a DC 20 craft alchemy check or a wisdom check.
Well, I don't have craft alchemy.
No, sorry, it's a wisdom check followed by a craft alchemy check if the wisdom check fails. DC 20.
All right.
You do automatically know that he's been poisoned.
You were poisoned. You are poisoned. That's unfortunate. 20.
Nice. Yeah, it's a poison that Sunny has never. You, in your current incarnation, you've never seen, but you're having this sense that you know what this is. He has a medium radiation poisoning that will continue to sap his strength each day until he makes 2 saves.
Does anyone have a neutralized poison? Your poison, it's still ongoing. It's something called radiation poisoning. I think it has something to do with atomy.
Can Cog try to help him with a heal check?
With a heal check, you could provide a bonus to his daily saving throw.
Yeah.
I believe is how treat poison works.
Yeah, Cog doesn't sleep. He'll try to doctor for him. There's one that allows you to take my save instead of yours. I still remember when that kicks in.
We should. So I couldn't. I don't have any more prepared. Give me a moment. I probably have a scroll in here somewhere.
Scrolls.
Sunny is going to cast a neutralized poison on him.
Oh, nice.
Okay, the DC of the poison affecting agony is 17. So I believe you have to make a caster level check.
Well, I've got 4 scrolls, so we'll start out with the weeny little poopy scroll, which I think it's a 5th circle scroll. I believe neutralized poison is the 3rd circle spell. It's a 4th circle spell. All right, 7th circle scroll. Didn't work. Brennos on the next one is going to. It's not. He's a greedy dragon. He should be cured. We're going to give him a touch of the gods, so he can roll twice on the next one, and this is a 10th cast level scroll.
Nice.
28.
Hey, teamwork. All right, so the poison is gone. The 2 con drain is not.
The con is. I can get rid of it now if we want, using the scroll. But if I do it now, then I won't have a scroll later.
We can do it tomorrow morning.
That's fine.
if you grab my tablet, you can use it tomorrow, and it should heal you up.
No, that tablet's a combat thing. Sunny's spell tomorrow will do.
All right.
And Agony, without touching much dinner, kind of climbs up the rope and curls up a bit. Thogrim 6'1" just sleeps weird, Barnabus. It's like he doesn't move.
He like sort of like a robot. He just turns
Yeah,
off.
just sort of lies down. It's like, what are you doing?
Barnabas goes up and is like, trying to milk you.
All right. I have questions.
All right, spellcasters go up into the...
I didn't get to see the lady.
We're just going to stick Thogrim over into the...
Sonny's going to pop his head out of the rope trick. Who disintegrated part of your head?
It was a serpent. A
Sonny's
large
going to
serpent.
grab Barnabas and pull Barnabas's head out the hole.
I think you all need to see this.
Yeah, right. I got some stuff. Yeah, I'm just gonna put it from your brain. All right.
All right, so there's some of the smart folk up in this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
mucking
6.
around, let's see what
Yeah,
you saw.
Brennos comes up because he's curious, I guess.
Yep.
Use an illusion. I want to see what it looks like as well.
Hang on.
Kind of cannonball this thing is going to eat.
Barnabas will cast share memory.
Share memory, okay. And you get a good look at the creature that had attacked Cog from the mines of the Wave Echo Cave, or whatever that area is called. Let me just grab a token. Which I have in the darkness somewhere. All right, and it was less than, what, a couple minutes or 5 minutes? So,
it was second, probably.
yeah, you catch a glimpse of this creature.
Oh. By any chance, were you extra small when you saw it?
Not that I remember. Everything was about the same size.
That's a big one. All right.
That's a very big one, yes.
Knowledge, or can I pronounce it? Or engineering.
Yeah, give me a knowledge. Yeah, give me a second. I forget as well. It's knowledge engineering.
Okay. Up there. Go. Auto aid from Polly. Take 10. I've got a D6 left.
No one can help you other than Polly because no one else can see it, right?
Oh, Barnabas will. Oh, yeah. Sure, he's got it. So he comes up with a. 50,
Polly can aid because Barnabas can talk to Polly about what he's seeing. So
52, 56. So 66.
66. You know this unique creature's name is Queen Shephatiah. Queen Shephatiah is the ancient matriarch of Dark Naga on Volcanica.
Oh. Okay. So.
Normally, Dark Naga are about large when they reach adult size. She's just like some reptiles do, just get bigger as they age. Naturally, they are sorcerers with the spell that you saw her cast. Give me a spellcraft check as if you observed it, because you saw that interaction.
Okay. 51.
She cast a quick and true strike, a disintegrate, and then blocked off the area of the wall of the mine with a prismatic wall, which is an 8th circle spell.
So she, wow.
Queen Shephatiah is one of those arguably rare creatures that has somehow achieved a mythic status.
Okay.
Now I want you to give me a perception check to see if you notice some of the items that she has on her person.
Hmm. 43. Okay, she is wearing, on the end of her tail, a ring of brilliant energy that seems to be shifting in colors. Okay.
And you recognize this as a primordial ring, which is a variable ring of energy, of major energy resistance.
Okie doke.
On command, you can shift the resistance to the one you want.
Like immediate?
No, as a command. Yeah.
Let's go.
She's also wearing an amulet that is, it's strong, but you wouldn't think that this is, there must be a reason. It is an amulet it has a blindfolded Medusa carved on its surface. It is an amulet of proof against petrification, which instead of turning to stone, you become staggered.
That's an acceptable alternative.
The last thing that you notice is that she has a mouth guard, or she's replaced 2 of her fangs with slivers of deiforil.
Oh! Okay, we're going to have a little bit of a group meeting.
And then there's, give me a knowledge history or a knowledge local El Sirvale.
We'll do knowledge history. Aid. 6. Another 10, 48, 58.
There's a passage about her because she's been around for a long time. Like a vampire, she feeds on the powers of heroes. Okay.
What's your name again?
Queen Shephatiah. And you've found her lair. She's supposed to live in a giant cavern underground.
Well, this would be it.
Guarding the secrets of the ancients. The ancients? Guarding the secrets of the gods? Something.
Alright, we're gonna have a quick group meeting. I'm gonna use the third circle spell that I would like to have for tomorrow. Let's go down. Everyone needs to see this.
Alright, so Barnabus is
Barnabus is being the Barnabas, right?
Barnabas. I love the phrase.
Alright, everyone. And he casts Major Image.
Okay.
And makes an image of what he just saw.
Alright. Do you have any artistic ability?
No.
Okay.
I'm really smart though. It's an id skill.
Yeah. So give me an in check, because
Why are you showing us a parrot?
it is based off memory. Yeah.
Alright.
In your case, yes.
There's a big snake thing with.
Hang on. 29.
Yeah, it's a really good rendition. You might have got some of her scales wrong, and maybe the iridescence of the scales, like if somebody were to compare her versus her image. But it's enough that you could recognize this creature when you see it.
I think that's a naga.
You are correct. In fact, it is the Dark Naga, matriarch of all of Volcanica. Her name is Queen Shephatiah.
She's big.
Yeah, she is much larger than she should be. That is an accurate note.
She's the one that tried to disintegrate Cog's head?
Yes, she
What
also...
the fuck's going on over here? Oh, it's a fucking magic show.
That's right. She
That's
also
her.
quickened a True Strike, cast a Disintegrate spell, and then walled off the mines with the Prismatic Sphere. That's a circle for those of you keeping track.
Prismatic wall.
Prismatic Wall, sorry.
I don't know if we have the spells to deal with the prismatic wall. We might. Do we
should blow a hole around it.
Do we need to deal with the prismatic wall?
Blow a hole
Well,
around
it
it.
should be gone by now. The point is, it's a sorcerer with 8 circle spells. And a big one. Additionally, you'll note here on the tail, there is a ring here. It's a ring of energy resistance, but you can change what type of energy on command. Which
Is
means
she
I'm gonna
got a
get
ring of
one
axe
fireball
resistance?
at best. And again, they're agony fireballs, but still. Additionally, you'll notice on the fangs here, those look like deiforil fangs.
the illusion opens up its mouth and shows you the fangs.
It's closer than I'd like to.
The illusion's a little smudgy, like there might be some etching in the fangs, but you didn't see enough of it in your memory to you know that she's placed magic upon the fangs as well.
They
So
are
don't get
magical,
bitten.
and rumors, legends persist that she feeds on the power of heroes. That's probably how.
I have a question. Query.
Wait, what?
Well, the druid also feeds on the power of the same power we're talking, yes? Like
Yes, I believe so.
competing organisms.
Yes.
Sunny and Widget exchange concerned looks.
Yeah, I'll be in the back.
Wait, how does she do that?
Well,
Assuming she bites you with the fuck off shiny teeth.
yeah. I mean, there's a magical component to it, don't get me wrong, but yeah.
So what does she gain by drinking heroes?
Well, it's sort of my guess is it's sort of the same thing that makes Widget and Sunny special.
You guessing?
It's hardly is hardly an experiment.
I know what
I've
he's
done
talking
no
about.
experiments
I ain't
and see
special.
nothing to do with this.
I ain't special.
Yeah, of course you're not. Just
You get this like
We know.
this look from Maggie, like really.
Widget also not the best liar. A +3 on
So I'm open to suggestions on how we get these two, be the Ghost Lord and Her Highness. How would we determine who's truly the apex predator?
Could you take
Sonny?
his teeth out?
Yes.
Could you put them in my head?
Well, I would put that towards that question towards Thogrim or Cog.
I've had dreams of eating things.
Well, I have too, but I mean, those dreams came true, as you can plainly see.
No, dreams from, and starts to touch the holy symbol of Tiamat.
inspirational dreams.
Ever since I think I put this thing on, ever since I converted, she wants me to feed.
Though it might do the trick. I mean, obviously you'd have to break him down to a full set of dentures or something, but
If it's deiforil, then I can work it. I can make a trick
additionally,
for you.
my fellow casters, we will get back to this, but
And he puts a finger up to Barnabus and looks back at Thogrim. What?
If it's deiforil, I have the tools to craft to work.
You mean you could become special like Sunny and Widget?
No. You were saying the teeth, they're special, and you wanted teeth like that. If the deiforil teeth, I can work with them. I can craft you teeth made out of deiforil. Perhaps Cog can help install them in your jaws, but I can make them. I have to study what your current teeth look like first, and I can sculpt them.
A bit of medium strength cheese would probably make a good mold base.
So
Thank you.
you, with this metal as teeth, you can become heroic?
I think it's a bit more to it than that, but
It's-
it would be...
I wouldn't recommend. Typically, eating sentience is somewhat frowned upon. And normally those that eat the heroes in the stories are not the heroes themselves.
But what we're dealing with here aren't heroes, they're monsters. Barnabus, can't you do the thing that you do and try to find out, do the thing that you do. Find out how deiforil affects these creatures.
Yeah, I could cast a spell, but I don't have any bits of them, so it would take some time.
No. Cast a spell on the dagger.
Cog reaches in, pulls out the
You just want to know
dagger.
about the metal itself. I can do that. Before we go to that, though, I would like to point out to my fellow casters, as I was trying to say before His Highness interrupted, this amulet here is...
Question. Did you just call that the Highness? Is he the Highness or is she the Highness? Well, in this conversation, who are we referring to
He's
as the Highness?
clearly referring to me. I mean, look at my followers. He's sleeping, yes, but I have at least one.
Yeah, you had to make him. Yeah, congratulations. You made
I'm
yourself a friend.
always a follower. Don't judge.
God, and that's one of you that talks. He's getting that. I've got them in my hat. Don't ask me why, but it's amulet. And he's waiting for the interruption. Is a proof against petrification, so don't try to turn into stone. That was all. That was all I was trying to say.
Why would she have that?
Because she doesn't want to be turned to stone.
So there's something in there that turns it to stone then.
Who's
If he's
threatening to
trying
turn someone to
avoid.
stone? Yes.
Well,
that's
it is
precisely-
an underground area, so there could be basilisk, there could be there could be all sorts of...
There's the bird thing, the cute little bird with the,
Doesn't,
the peacock thing with the. bites you when you turn to stone.
Interruption. Does freedom of movement?
They're nasty little birds.
Does freedom of movement
Cockatrice
get you
or
around
something.
that?
Cockatrice, yeah. All right. Now,
How do we not get turned to stone?
I was trying to ask that. Wouldn't the freedom of movement help you against it?
Well, I think it would if we were playing Pathfinder 2nd Edition, but I think how it works then.
Oh shit, you're right. I haven't updated.
Mark doesn't remember.
Paralysis, solid fog, slow web.
Nothing about.
No. It's
I remember this trick worked before. I don't remember how long ago.
I don't see anything about petrification.
all right. Well, I can unstonify it. So
There we go. That'll be helpful.
don't let me turn to stone, you fucks.
Just stay invisible, and you should be fine.
I will be in the back. I will be behind the back. The back will be me. Cannibalistic giant snake naga princess, queen, something or other. I kind of prefer the Ghost Lord, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah. So I'm just curious. Everyone's got any ideas? We might track the Ghost Lord to the Queen. Maybe.
I believe the Ghost Lord's forces are in the neighboring castle, like the fortress. The Ghost Lord himself may or may not be there. I didn't sense him immediately, although I don't know if that's a thing that I can do. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It's a little fickle. It's kind of... You know when the old man says, oh, my niece says the storm is coming, and he's about right half the time? That's about how the sensing of the other creatures works.
All right. Just curious, did you sense anything from the cave when you teleported to the cave?
No.
Okay, so...
Well, but it's a, like I said, like a trick knee, 50-50 on whether it works. Sometimes, things are just surprising.
Agony takes the dagger from whoever is carrying it. Who's carrying the deiforil? Thogrim? Okay.
Cog's carrying
Cog's carrying it? All right. He hands it to... he puts it down in front of Barnabus.
All right. Talk amongst yourselves. Take a minute. Oh, you.
Question. Sorry, you're concentrating, aren't you?
I haven't started yet, so go ahead.
That dagger is very sharp. You should be careful, don't cut yourself.
Oh, thank you.
Where did the dagger end up? Is it on someone's character sheet or?
Yeah,
it was Cog.
All right. So, how do you kill giant snake lady thing?
Well, in theory, the traditional way.
You just hack it up, right? You cut its head off.
Yeah, cut its head off, smash it to bits, whatever.
Right. Now, what was this? The wall thing that made everybody's jaws go slack. The fuck does that do?
Oh, so many things.
So it is a very interesting spell. To counter it, you need a cone of cold, a gust of wind, a disintegrate, a cast wall, a magic missile, daylight, and then either dispel or greatly dispel magic to not have all of the effects applied upon you. It is one of the most interesting forms of magic those prismatic spells are.
Can someone point me towards where the write-up for the dagger is? Because I'm having a hard time finding it.
That's I was looking for that. It was under my sheet under weapons, but I can't find it anymore. So stone, look, minor whistle.
Monarch's Bane. There we go. +1 keyed God's Blood Steel Dagger is under the plot items for the character. So I'll just mark down Cog as carrying.
God's blood.
I had to check the cost.
Isn't it 1,500 or something like that? I wonder if I can make bullets out of deiforil. Definitely cannonballs.
Alright.
Thogrim,
Yes.
do you know the spell Cone of Cold?
Cone of Cold. What level is that?
It's a 5th circle explodey spell.
Yes, I'm very familiar. Yeah, well, yes, I can prepare it if you
Could
need.
you prepare one tomorrow, just in case we have an issue that we have to get through?
I prepare cannon. It blasts through the walls.
No, not really. Either the red or the orange. Without the Cone of Cold, it's not going through.
Fine, I'll prepare a Cone of Cold.
Don't find me. You just.
No, I'll make you happy. That's fine. I'll prepare a Cone of Cold. It's all right.
Magic missile.
Your Lord Thogrim approves of your decision. It's my grim on his face. Big beard. Oh,
Sonny's gonna grab a. I'm just making certain that we're ready to
5,
crack that sucker if we need to.
6, 7. Now, I believe what's in there are ghosts, right? In the castle when we arrived, it's primarily going to be ghosts.
There were ghosts and there were fae. And what sounded kind of like archers, maybe not archers, sounded like archers.
Yeah, I'll prepare, the
Maybe
Wind
satyrs
walls
with
or
centaurs or
something.
something.
All right. But how do you know those? How do we know those weren't ghosts as well?
Oh, you mean like ghostly set?
Yes.
They could have. Ooh, I didn't see it.
They made a lot of noise for ghosts. Then again, the lions make a lot of noise for ghosts.
Well, I need to know what kind of spells I'm going to be putting up on my cannon.
Effective ones.
Yes, the ones for ghosts are different than the ones for dragons, serpents.
Agreed.
Or fae.
Alright.
That's not whiny at all, Adam.
It's like there's so many things I want to prepare for it. It's like I want to be prepared for everything.
Prepare cannon. Just make sure you have a way out. I'm preparing 2 teleports and 2 greater teleports. It's a lot. It's eating up into my spells that I need, but do what you must. Shut up. I have spoken.
Where did you find the dagger?
Dagger was in the brother's hoard, my younger brother's hoard in this in the witch's crossbow.
Was it in the collection?
It was in the collection. That's where Sonny found the water bucket thing.
Yep.
And Agony, I can't remember what Agony found. So, someone found a ironstone.
What was your brother's name again?
My brother's name is un momento, por favor. Because the older brother and the younger brother have very similar names. The family of
Martharin. I got it.
youngest Martha, yeah. Martha, Matilda, Quella, Derivari, and Martharin.
And Cog's been away for how long?
From Witch's Crossing?
Such an intimidating question.
No. From Witch's Crossing? Didn't he go back
your
with
mental
Sunny?
age, it's about 300 years. Okay. Got it.
Oh yeah, sorry, I wasn't sure.
We're about to cast a spell that gives us a whole bunch of information. So
I'm gonna Barnabus is gonna go pee while he casts the spell.
Yeah, I could use 2 seconds. Okay, yeah, that's a good call. I'll be back in 2 seconds. All right.
Okay. This is a very momentous and pivotal rest period.
basically resting upon the creature that we killed.
Marty gives us a crap load of information. Barnabas goes, it's not much.
Rolls a bluff check and you guys continue.
Not important.
It's actually what's called Fool's for Real, which not real deities.
Fool's for real.
Take it, the write-up's getting much bigger.
Cool. Sorry, I had to piece some lore together, and yeah, as a DM, you should know enough about the lore of your realm that you don't need to type out pages. You could have a few notes, and then you create the lore as you need it. I've got a few eras that are kind of in my head, and I'm sort of weaving throughout that. All right, so you're casting legend lore.
Yep.
You have the object on hand. You're casting it on Monarch's Bane, which, for such a small dagger, for such a little thing, a +1 keen dagger made from a weird metal, it has a fabulous history that begins to tumble forth. Barnabas scrawling madly upon a page to get it all down. Did you subtract material components for the spell?
I did. We are out of
Okay. I'm going to just wait till Ahmed returns, because this is important enough that you should all hear it.
Do you want to pause till he gets back?
And we could just chit-chat.
I'm still trying to tweak my spells for the perfect combination with Barnabus.
No,
know what I need to
spells,
do.
all the things.
Yeah.
You know what I did with Agony? I just zeroed out the spells that he cast. He's all prepped.
He's spontaneous. Thank you.
Get our little Barnabus dice.
Oh, look at that.
Hold on.
Ready.
I didn't. So Brennos, the fight yesterday, because it was like ended that day. I was neutral god that day, which means that on the morality grid, I don't collect. Do you collect neutral points, or do they just count? They just count out extremes, right?
They can count out extremes. You could jam a bunch of points in the middle.
I'm just going to put neutral. We'll see what I was building up points. And then I think there's a question of on the morrow. This was the greed. We're going into a mine tomorrow. Let's pick a god. Who do we want to deal with tomorrow? Because lots of dwarves like mines, and lots of dwarves like wealth. At some point, I need to worship.
I think Dumathoin is the mining god. I think the dwarves have a specific. The Morndinsammons have a specific god that is about mining.
Dumathoin. The problem with Dumathoin is he's a great god for like downtime. He doesn't take over mines. He makes them.
Oh, I see. What are his domains?
Artifice, earth, knowledge, and protection.
Protection's not too bad.
Protection, spell immunity against disintegrate might be good.
Yeah. I guess a quickened true strike disintegrate. Yeah, it probably could be good.
Yeah.
The domain powers for protection kind of suck.
That's the. Yes, they suck. They suck all the. Yeah.
Unless your resistance bonus item is low, then you might catch up.
If my resistance bonus item was that low, then I would be mad at myself or my DM or the universe.
Okay, so Barnabus casts Legend Lore upon Monarch's Bane, which is this +1 keen dagger, interesting, made out of deiforil, much more interesting. You expected a little bit of information, if at all. Like, if you cast Legend Lore on some of the +2 effective market price items that you have in your party, you probably receive no information, unless it's actually carried and actively used by your group. This has a tumultuous history that is somewhat summarized, and it gives you plenty of things to research later. Monarch's Bane, owned by the shadow elf named Umberil, who led his people from light into darkness, outcast from the elves of Volcanica, and declared Dayrau. The dagger was used to assassinate and ritualistically slay many, including heroes of Dragonkind, Sylvankind, and Elvenkind. Also including several monarchs of the early kingdom of Elsyria. It is made from deiforil, which allowed Umberil to perform blood theft against the powers, to gain the powers from mythic beings he slayed, the essence of their power transferred to his phylactery. When Umberil passed into lichdom, the dagger was stored in a cache, which was eventually discovered by the elves of Thundertree. Monarch's Bane traded hands many times throughout the centuries before being found by Martherin as he fled Thunderstone and was kept in his hoard for several centuries. It was discovered by the Steelrose Expeditionary League, who used it to rediscover the truth about deiforil.
I just want everyone to know that means that you're all legendary.
Yeah. what it also means is you don't want to cut yourself on it.
Yes, as I said before, my instincts were correct. It's very sharp. Don't cut yourself.
I'm not special. Don't steal my blood.
Now, the question: he said it was you said it was transferred to his phylactery. Does this still connect to his phylactery or to the owner of the dagger, the wielder of the dagger?
Well, that is an excellent question that I will refer you to the DM.
You guys, when you identified it and you cast detect magic, you don't see any extraneous magic beyond a +1 keen dagger.
Is it possible that someone applied magical properties that could be detected onto an artifact? Barnabus has seen some weird shit done with phylacteries, so why not this?
Yes. The Legend Lord did say it was transferred to his phylactery, as if this was the means by which the energy went from one being to another, but the energy had to go somewhere. Give me a knowledge arcana.
Okay. I'm going to use a tricky brain thing, and I'm actually going to roll and hope I do. I think I'm pretty sure I'm out of 20s. And I will confer with.
You could also confer with the giant group of smart beings that are around you.
Aim aids, poly aids. Do I get any more aids on this?
What are you trying to do?
Arcana.
Knowledge arcana.
Oh, you get an aid from Widget and Sunny.
Arcana, you get an aid from. My guys are idiots.
Brennos clears his throat.
Yeah.
And then decides to keep his mouth shut.
Agony, if he rolls higher than a 3.
Yeah, Brennos is like,
he aids.
What about Thogrim?
Oh, give me a sec. So, Cog aids, Thogrim aids. Now, maybe Thogrim 1 can aid as well.
Thogrim 1 and Talk's seen some things.
Yeah, I'm checking. Thogrim 1 aids.
Widget aids.
So, from my guys, you have +8.
Cog aids.
Awesome. So that's 8.
10.
10. Right. Plus 10. Awesome. Plus
10? No, wait, it's more than that.
Plus Polly and Eamon, that's another 19. Plus, well, yeah, we'll just take that. 26. 5, so that's.
Yeah.
Plus 14.
Guidance.
24 rather. 24. And there's Barnabus. Plus 40 or 85 or 46? Plus 46. There. 70. 80.
A total of 80?
80 taking 10. We have a big discussion.
There's a big argument, and you guys come to the conclusion that perhaps this blood theft could be repeated if the person doing the blood theft had a bonded item of sorts, like a arcane bond or an item that was special to them.
Okay.
To store the power. Your paranoia about the dagger and the phylactery, this is long ago, it would have manifested if the Lich is still around, or maybe his transference between living and dead meant he no longer needed it. Barnabas thinks that there might be other ways to consume and feed upon mythic beings.
Once you're, the founding Deiforil, mythic Lich, you come up with other methods.
Now, question, is it just this dagger, or is it all deiforil? This dagger was used, but is it...
If the big queen naga can do it with her deiforil teeth.
I think it's a characteristic of the metal.
Right, then. We need to know how to do this properly.
It's just another way to steal.
Yes.
You have to be a thief
And-
for that. Or a conqueror, I suppose.
Well, yes. Once they're destroyed, then we can pilfer what we want. It's not stealing if the enemy's dead and you're taking their goods. We do it every fight.
Do they have to be alive? A valid question.
The trick might be you have to kill them with a deiforil thing.
So the trick is, I believe, again untested, but you might have to kill them with a dagger or with whatever deiforil you.
Like a cannonball.
Do you have a
Cannonball.
Cannonball.
It's not magical, I can make more of it.
The concept of conservation of goods and life. One thing dies, another thing is born. Everything's being recycled continuously. If you were able to do it without killing the previous owner, then you would be multiplying the amount of special, and then we would just be eventually in a world that is nothing but special.
Yeah, I believe you got to kid it.
Widget, you've been wondering to this point, how do you grow in your power? And the mythic tenebrous cloak that is around your neck, a gift from your goddess, you suspect would be that device for you. The conditions are right that you could feed the cloak. Sonny,
Get in the car.
you're at a crossroads in thought. Do I grow in power and grow with Volcanica? Or do I feed upon the things of Volcanica that are here to become more powerful? And you're a bit torn. You will have a choice to make in the coming days.
Now, there's something else to... Oh, sorry.
As for people with special items, Sonny, you know that this group is legendary. They all, under the right conditions, why else would you travel with them, could become mythic creatures. Some are closer to being ready and already have their item. Others may have to work harder. Barnabus already wears a godling's stone in his forehead. That might act as a vessel or crystal or bonded item through which, through deiforil and the blood theft of mythic beings, Barnabus could achieve mythic power. There are a couple of other curious things that you have found just recently in this cavern. The strange processor and the big atomic, the Atomi
core.
Yeah, the Atomi core could very well act as machine versions of phylacteries or special devices that might be capable, through their tremendous magical and technological advances, could store this power. There are others that you're wondering they might have to do a little bit more work. The platinum sword that Brennos carries.
Yeah.
If that's not a bonded item, then that could be a source for mythic power itself.
There are...
You understand
we
these
have-
things strangely, like you get the feeling like, wow, this is special and cool, and you love magic. You get that feeling of deja vu, or like you've uncovered this stuff before.
As you are tested, you will find your paths. Not all the same, and some of them are more cannibalistic than others. He motions over to the giant defeated god thing. Upgrades. Others faith, and others theft.
1 second. You said killing a thing with the dagger would provide mythic power, yes? Or special power.
Not directly. It's not that the dagger itself.
It's a deiforil.
The deiforil will strike at the heart of the mythic being and unleash its power, which would then be absorbed by those around it.
Looks at Barnabus. You've got the thing still, the thing, the mind of that thing in your hat. If you strike it with the dagger.
That is rather short, isn't it, thinking?
It acted
Do we all have
very...
a phylactery? That's agony.
Settle your scales there. We don't even know if this is going to work.
What?
We don't know if this will work.
What?
This is
What?
part of a fractured consciousness. We don't know if it's got the power to do what we're hoping.
But here's the question. Here's a very valid question. Can all of us benefit? Who benefits from this? Only the one wielding the dagger?
Yeah.
All right, then only one.
I
Then who's next?
don't believe it would be as simple as that.
We need to know what the hell we're doing.
Equivalents, souls are not all of the same strength, and two weaker souls don't make a stronger soul, if that makes sense. Only so much can be contained within one being at a given point in time.
How do I get a phylactery?
But yes, it's a good question. Barnabus, how do we each get a phylactery? If some of us already don't.
The phylactery is a
Have one.
spiritual connection to an origin.
Well,
He grabs his cannon like,
I believe
Very
that
nearly, actually, yeah.
the components of the node were capable at some level of storing its energies. So for those of us with points to Cog or to Slake, we
What?
took it up correctly.
Why you pointing at me?
Is the atomic core all right?
Yeah, it's still rolling around in there a little bit.
We should try to hook it up at some point.
I can work on that for you, Slake.
What do you mean by that?
Does you're just containing it. It's not connected to you. It's not a power.
Yeah,
source.
it's in my stomach, or wherever my stomach was before.
Yeah, you should let Cog.
There's a
have look.
compartment in there.
You should let Cog have a look. That's all we're saying.
You should let Cog have a look, a good inside the rope. No, that's not good. We should be inside the rope trick while Cog has a look. I would be safe. Everyone else should be inside those.
Yeah.
Hold
I
on
don't
a
want to
second.
make you all sick.
Well, hold on a second. You've got a lot. There's a lot of lead over there. You can easily fabricate something flexible. Like
I'll just go
gloves.
inside the machine. That should be all right. You know what's left of it. He kicks it.
In
Pe-
the meantime,
Piece falls off.
Barnabus pulls out the sphere
Okay.
and he hands the dagger to Thogrim.
To Thogrim?
Yep.
Because I can't use it, sorry.
Can't use the dagger.
No, Thogrim doesn't have a. He's like, I don't have anything to. He stows it.
You're a wizard.
Are you telling me you don't know how to use a fucking knife?
No, sorry. Why did you give him the dagger?
To stab the fucking ball thing with the evil guy inside.
I don't have a phylactery. I mean, does talk count?
Possibly.
Yeah, could be.
Maybe, maybe not. These things are fickle.
We should all get our phylacteries.
Yeah, you should get on that.
Oh, how do I do it? He turns around, Agnes.
Well,
His
if
hackles
we
are
were
raised.
attracted to teeth, then we probably should fetch the teeth of this being. But killing this being likely will release its energies. It's not going to give him its teeth willingly.
So Thogrim's got the dagger. Like, but before we do this, let's make sure everyone benefits.
Yeah, that's not how it works. It's going to be a one target.
Well, why are you making the guy without a phylactery do it?
Talk could very well be his phylactery. He has a bond with it.
Talk. Do you know if you can maintain this type of energies?
No, that's why.
Talk says he's.
What the fuck are you talking
Yeah,
about?
exactly. He is uncertain. He would prefer not to be experimented on.
He's a disembodied man.
I say we need to study this. For the ones who are not sure, like me, it would be a waste. Although I would like to try it, I don't want to lose this energy and lose the possibility of this type of power going away.
Well, this is why it's going down two seasons. Everyone's afraid of experimentation.
Oh, you do it?
Yeah, he does it.
Nice.
Okay. Are you guys going to do it just by yourself? Are you letting Barnabus take all the mythic power?
Well, Thogrim was holding it.
Barnabus is spread it out.
Okay, so describe what you're doing.
Thogrim's like holding the stick. Why don't we all hold the dagger then?
Yeah, so Barnabas grabs for the dagger. Thogrim, you're still holding the dagger.
Yeah, say like, why don't we all reach for the dagger at the same time?
Well, because there's 10 of us. A small
Cog
handle.
extends his arms.
Those with the phylacteries should do this.
Alright, this thing's probably a phylactery. Really, worst case scenario, if you don't have a phylactery, you just don't get anything.
Can I? Yeah, I think we should all try it. Could you give me a moment? I want to see if I could hook up to this thing somehow.
Too late, bro.
Well, one sec, damn it. Is there any way that Cog could try to figure out how this thing plugs into him or something?
You could spend some time. So yes, you could spend some time disassembling it and getting at the good bit in the middle, and see if you could hook that up to yourself.
Do I get an idea of how long that would take?
It's not happening in the next 3 minutes. It's probably about an hour to disassemble the processor and about an hour to install it. It would be about an hour of work, you think, to hook 2 cables up to either end of the power source into Slake.
We could probably wait for the.
Why don't we wait? I could work on my piece. I think I know how to do it. And also for Slake, I've seen how it was connected inside the machine. I can make it work. Give me 3 hours, 4 hours tops.
All right.
Thogrim, are you holding the dagger or the orb or both?
I know I have the dagger. Did you give me the orb as well?
Yeah.
Tell me, Agony, would you like me to pray for a phylactery for you?
Sure. I'm not wearing one of those stupid gems at my forehead.
You wear it up your ass for all I care.
Where it looks like we're waiting, Thogrim's gonna put the dagger away and give the sphere to Barnabus.
No.
How do I bond with something like this? And he takes out.
This is geode that you have. Small geode. Small. There was one of those that you had. Give it to him. Maybe that'll work. Or something that he's used for.
The bejeweled statue team, that's 100 pounds. I don't think he wants to do that.
something a bit more portable there, chum.
A book's a little bit too breaky. There's his holy symbol, but he's not a divine caster. He's rooting through his stuff. He looks over at you. So Agony's off to the side. He looks back at Thogrim, and he's going to grab the dagger from Thogrim.
Who?
Agony.
Agony, yeah. Thogrim put it in his belt. Is he, like, aggressively going for it?
Yeah, he snatches it from you.
Just ask. Just ask for it.
I don't want anyone getting any ideas.
Cog gives a thumbs up, like...
Trade.
While Cog's, like, working, he just thumbs up like that. Good
Yeah,
job.
he sticks it in his belt, and then he goes back to rooting through his stuff, looking for something to bond with. He's off to the side doing that. I'm assuming the illusion has subsided at this point.
Thogrim's thinking,
Yes.
I have deiforil tools.
Oh, all right.
Wait, so could somebody explain this to me?
In the private sanctum.
What, I have to do something else to make the fucking thing happen, or is it like I have to go find Tia? Because I know I gotta go find Tia.
This will help you find Tia.
Maybe you need to do something about your fucked up uncle.
There's the little canary that's been floating around your head, flutters down in front of you, and it's just glowing golden, and it chirps at you. It then flies into your forehead. That you were standing upon a bunch of shifting coins as draconic coils were moving all around you, like you were wrapped in snakes. It was strangely cozy, but you also felt like you were possessed, like you were its thing. The scale shifted between a beautiful platinum sheen to a deep purple as they coiled and moved around you.
Okay, Brennos will take a step back.
Okay.
You okay there, big guy?
What's
None of
wrong?
your concern. Can't win all spacey there. Again.
Yes, it's not looking right on you.
Brennos getting a case of the vapors, slaps you on the back.
Hey, aye, the fucking vapors. None of you seen like a little bird, right? I haven't been a bat for a while.
Birds? No, it's no birds, yeah.
No, Mister got put away in her stone shape.
Thogrim's casting Detect Magic in front of him. Wait, sorry, actually, hold on.
Imagine
Wait, oh, sorry, hold on. Where's this bird? Do you see it?
Never mind.
Ah, fuck, here.
Come on, tell us, where's the bird?
It's in my head.
Oh, shit. I knew this was going to happen.
You've been talking to your uncle again, haven't you?
He looks at Mike, he's gone off.
I haven't, not that it's any of your fucking business, but I haven't been speaking with my uncle for a good week and a half.
Oh, yeah, that'll solve the problem right there, yeah? Week and a half away, that's all fucked now.
He's lost his shit. Can't hold it together. I have to get rid of him. Just kidding.
Smart move. It's fucking birds everywhere. He's got a bird. He's got a bird. Apparently, I've got a bird. Birds everywhere.
We might have a bird.
Eamon sneers. He thinks you've all gone crazy. Although he's very eager to see his master gain more power.
Barnabus.
Yes.
Do you think I am a thief or a gardener? Which word do you associate more with me?
You're a gardener. Of the two, you are most certainly the gardener.
I'd like to think so. Sometimes harder to be the gardener than the thief. It's harder to grow an apple than it is to steal one.
It depends on the apple, but yeah, generally speaking.
Sonny, you're an archmage, right? Or are you
Sonny is a hierophant.
Hierophant? Okay.
Yeah, it's a good choice for a cleric. Druid cleric.
So Sonny turns into a thing and then has all the stuff.
And it was the drop of, what was the thing that turned you into mythic?
Water of life.
Oh, yeah.
Water, yeah.
Water,
Water
a drop from a drop of water from the tree of life.
Okay.
Yeah. The golden apple linked himself to Volcanica.
Marty. Oh, actually, no, when you're done. 2 questions.
Okay.
Questions?
Go ahead.
How many shrink items would it take?
How many shrink items do you have? Because you've done the cannon like 4 times today, and you did a bunch on
the cannon was done once today.
But you shrunk a bunch of other stuff from the orb with it.
Your cannon was at least
There's 10 from the staff. Whoa, hold on. I think you're in the staff.
You shrunk
The cannon was done by 6.
The cannon shrunk right now, and it was
It was shrunk once in the fight in the castle. So there's 10 in the staff.
And that was an extension of the day where you were in the sandstorm. So I think it's twice. I think you took it out during the sandstorm.
Because the staff doesn't recharge every day. You have to charge
No,
it
I put spells into it.
Yeah, 1 per day, max.
Okay, so it looks like Barnabus is confident that he's got a thing. Widget knows he has a thing.
Widget knows he has a thing.
Sonny has a choice to make. Brennos' vision is confusing.
Yes.
He may be visited this evening.
Well, yeah, Brennos is not partaking in the evil madness's energies. He's on the righteous isn't the right word, but we'll call it a holy path. There's good holy, there's bad holy. These, I don't know.
Yes, but slaying the evil to take their power?
Maybe. He could try? I don't know.
That feels righteous. Brennos is torn.
Right. He's also worshipping a greedy god this day.
Are you worshipping a Bathor?
It's Vergadin today. Tomorrow the plan was a Bathor.
Okay, so
I've actually already got it written down.
Vergadin's the god of what?
Vergadin is the god, the smiling dwarf. He is the merchant king, trade, wealth, negotiation, luck, trickery, and chance. So he'd gamble on this.
Okay. And what alignment is Vergadin?
Neutral.
Tick off 2 neutral points as you think that Vergadin simply thinks as this as a to the victor goes the spoils.
Okay, so Brennos is on team, do the thing. Sonny's trying to figure out how to
tick off 2 good points as actually and law, as both good and law are saying to you You get the sense that the sword is the right path because it will help fulfill a debt.
Dear. Or whether it is being interpreted as. Okay.
And then evil, which you have got plans to do evil, they're going, yeah.
Tick off a couple of evil points for their augury as well.
Overwhelmingly, you get the sense, Brennos, that the pantheon of the Morndinsammon is behind you in you taking power from the defeated foes.
Okay.
It comes with a catch, though. If you do this and take this step, they've got plans for you.
That's more than Brennos has for himself. Okay. As in, he's a holy man who's a holy man. Like, if they don't have plans for him, he doesn't have plans for him.
All right. Marty, do you need rules from COG for...
What is your... You know what? I'm going to spend a DM point. You manage to disassemble the processor. You find a strange little place where it could fit into you. You connect it, immediately find your reactions a little bit quicker. Thoughts are a little bit clearer.
+4 dex, got it.
No, it enables potentially under the right situations. You are mythic ready. The problem, perhaps, on this world is there's not a lot of things or sources doling it out.
Right. What about Slake?
The Imperials came here long ago with their heroes to fight the heroes of this world and won.
I know, that's why we got a guy from a world where they're not done. And he knows where there's a guy on the mountain who needs his ass kicked. He's got like a whole box of this shit.
However, there is still mythic power kind of lingering around. As even Imperials, the great Imperial heroes, the immediate family of the Undying Emperor, they're not perfect. You would never tell them that, but maybe they took the most powerful beings and left, leaving the scraps for learned heroes such as yourselves to pick up centuries later.
Cool. Is Slake able to get his am I able to get Slake's?
Yeah. You work on Slake. He has to take off his armor, which is actually like pulling out bolts because he doesn't really like remove his armor. Yeah. But you remove his armor plating, and you can see that Slake's digestive tract has kind of been removed, and there's just this big chamber that he's got this thing into. You move it around a little bit to put it off to the side. And you are able to cannibalize some cabling from the machine gone mad and hook up to Slake. There is this scary sort of green light that 2 pinpoints that first light up in Slake's eyes. Whereas you, for a brief moment, when you connected the processor, there was all this weird, a silvery, like, electronic tracery, almost like a circuit board almost that kind of went across all the metal of your body.
Yeah.
Slake's is just this really, really aggressive 2 atomic green pinpoints of light that appear when you connect and they sort of die down. That feels amazing. Thogrim, looking at what COG is doing, both of you come to the realization that a bit of this atomic radiation poisoning is going to build up inside of Slake, and that your future plans of an upgrade to include the Iron Golem poison gas thing might be an excellent way for Slake to every once in a while vent the radioactive gas from his system.
Oh, Slake, I have such a surprise for you. You're going to love it.
Yeah, this is great. This is not magical, right?
No, absolutely not. This is just the material itself.
I feel wonderful.
You're going to be heating up eventually, and you're going to have to release the heat. Thogrim might be able to help you with that. You know how those big constructs release gas, like poison?
Yeah.
A problem for another day. Slams that shut, puts a couple of the bolts back in, puts his armor
Right
back
on.
on.
Nothing can go wrong.
The armor plating, and then his armor on top of that.
Yeah. A problem for another day.
He
Thogrim's
then kind of he makes his eyes glow a little bit, and then they fade down a little bit. Yeah, it's
Cog's like, yeah.
Cog. You can kind of summon the tracery. It's a neat feeling. It's like every time you concentrate on the processor, it's working hard to make all of your bits work very efficiently.
Nice.
After a few hours of work, Slake and Cog, to your best guess, Sonny, are mythic ready.
Amadeus and Agony.
Thogrim like,
I'm not worried about that.
Talk.
My hands will die.
talk, right?
I believe him.
A little bit of extra coin every time we get some dirt.
Does Amadeus have something?
He's got ropes. He's got ropes, Steelrose.
All right. Gather around. Hopefully we don't go mad.
Agony's kicking stones.
Don't worry, Agony. You'll...
Why don't you use your the item around your neck, the holy symbol, the symbol of your goddess?
It's just a holy symbol.
Yes, well, it drives you, doesn't it? I don't know. 6-1's like, yes, that makes a lot of sense. She agrees with me.
Okay, Slake, Cog, Barnabus. Agony tosses the dagger at Slake's feet.
You're not all going to try this? Thogrim was going in. It's like, all right, Talk, you're up. Or the cannon, he's not sure. It's like...
Okay, Slake nudges the dagger into the middle of your group. I need to know where you guys are standing and who's doing what.
I think this is the formation, and Brennos will hold the thingy, like the rock.
Okay.
He'll have his hand on the platinum sword. Hopefully this goes well. Widget will have one hand on his cloak and the other hand on you. Hands are touching. He's going to hold Brennos' hand with the rock. Actually, no. Widget's going to be on dagger side with Barnabus.
Yeah, I think we can all grab the dagger. Like Slake can put his hand on the top, and the rest of us can kind of like grab.
Sure, it's a little close quarters, but that's fine.
Sunny is going to turn into an earth elemental and sort of partially submerge himself in the ground, and will grab onto will hold Brennos' hand because he's That's what he's gonna do. He's gonna try to. In his head, he's going to try to channel the power through him into Volcanica. Is what he's trying to. His brain. That's what he thinks he's doing.
Okay, but you are choosing the path of blood theft.
Okay, so it was blood theft or
Volcanica.
growth, right?
What's that?
It was blood theft or like harnessing Volcanica, right?
Correct.
So I want to harness Volcanica.
Okay, so Sunny instinctually knows he should be nowhere near what they're doing.
Sunny, as an elemental, goes into the ground. I'm going to pop up back here.
What are you doing?
It doesn't feel right. Sunny's under, like, just his face is sticking out as an earth elemental.
Why not? You don't want this?
If I do that, Volcanica gets drained of potency.
Amadeus and Agony might as well get in here.
It's how I use. You're the one who told me I'm the gardener and not a thief. I will garden.
Oh, why don't you just steal this and garden next time?
Because one doesn't simply. You don't simply just choose. Once a thief, always a thief.
Whoa. Barnabus, let's go. What do you mean, once a thief, always a thief?
If this is how you gain your power, you will have to continuously kill and consume.
Oh, fuck that.
Well, I mean, just
be a better way than that.
it depends on your focus. I'm not the
Have
little
you ever found
thingy.
me to be a killer? No, this is not my path then.
Brennos will hold his hand like,
What?
Oh, suck a dick.
Thogrim is still looking at Agony and Amadeus. Why aren't you coming in here to try this?
I don't have a phylactery.
I don't even know what phylactery is.
How do you know? Try it anyways. He's like, how do you know? Try it anyways. Maybe Gordon's your phylactery.
I have to hold hands with fucking Gordon now.
Get in here, Gordon.
This is more hand holding than I've done in 3 years.
Stop shaking. You're gonna be fine. Pretty sure you're gonna be fine. Call can put you back together if anything goes wrong.
All right, so
Right.
Barnabas is no longer holding the dagger.
Okay, Brennos will take the dagger. He'll have the both ends. All right, give me a second.
This is still the same night, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Barnabas steps off to the side.
He doesn't want to. If it always has to be like this, he's like, no,
Is it-
not his path.
Wait, you're saying this is the only way to be done?
Well, you're going to kill things and take their power. It's kind of like kill things and take their stuff.
You're very good at it.
I want to grow things.
Well, hold on. Thogrim's like,
All
I
right.
use cannons all the time.
Listen.
Barnabas, you're like, you've got
One
that
second.
second stone that you found from Slake. You could feel it in your pocket. You could feel it.
Well, I wanted to actually identify that.
Okay, you can feel it pulse a little bit.
Awesome, too.
No, you look at it and it pulses along with the one that is in your head.
Listen to me, you limey fuck. You came to me in the shadow plane, wanted to know how to get special. This is how you fucking get special. And now you're gonna wuss out? The fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah, no, not ideas. I can't. You know, it's not that sort of thing.
You don't need to kill things, you just need to lead others to go do the killing. Yeah, push.
And then
Get
hold
over
the end
here.
of the dagger while we plunge it into weird black things. Who cares?
Now get your ass over here.
Right, but you lot better do a lot of fucking killing. Like a lot. Like you're gonna feel bad in a few years about all the killing you've done.
Well, there's one.
They all
one.
deserved it.
There's one here, another one in the mouth of the cave, and then a third one out in the middle of the desert.
Widget, who is physically way the hell stronger than Barnabus, is pushing him. Strength 18 gnome is throwing him into the friggin' middle. Widget will grab your hand and will grab onto the dagger. All right.
All for one. Something ahead of us.
Okay, so
We all have our own reasons for doing this.
Widget's holding onto the dagger. Barnabas is holding onto the dagger via Widget's hand.
Yep.
Brennos is holding onto the sphere, and he's got his own platinum sword pointed at the sphere.
Yep.
Slake has got his hand kind of over all of your hands, touching the dagger. Cog, you're holding the dagger?
I'm underneath Slake.
Okay.
Like,
who's
like
actually
the first
holding
one.
the dagger?
Barnabus.
Okay. They make Barnabas hold the dagger.
You fucking old asshole.
All right.
Thogrim will hold another edge of the dagger.
And then Thogrim is holding the dagger. Okay. Agony. And
Amadeus puts his hand over the orbs and
okay. Agony will cast Long Arm and put his hand over top of Amadeus's. Is Gordon in this, or is he just back
He's
off?
just hanging on.
Hanging on
Yeah.
Amadeus. Okay. Now
I
what?
can't look.
Barnabas.
Where
Stab.
Sunny, Widget
All
is
three.
thrusting it through with Barnabas's head.
Okay.
1, 2.
On three. 1, 2, 3. Surprisingly, the deiforil dagger slides into the orb. You expected that this thing would take much more. It goes right to the hilt, and then the orb begins to flash, and then there is a pulse of energy as all of you are bombarded by horrible images of what this machine is doing. You're pretty certain that there is a world out there where one of the Kabranex nodes has successfully taken over the entire planet.
Do we know which one? The Cog's trying to figure out
The
which
one we're not going to.
At the same time, this darkened energy begins to flash from the orb, and through the deiforil turns into a pure deific essence. This is a very painful experience at first, but pleasure and pain is very close. And those that have phylacteries or the ability to absorb the mythic power have now experienced the most wonderful sensation that they've ever experienced before.
We're all gonna go evil.
We're murder
We're all
junkies.
gonna go evil.
As you steal from this orb its mythic power, it is divided amongst 6 of you. No, sorry, 5. There are 3 of you that are part of this equation that do not have the right circumstances, and you are attempting to steal the power of heroes, which does descend from the gods, and you are but mere mortals. This is not the best experience you've ever had. In fact, you're being electrocuted, and Thogrim, Amadeus, and Agony all need to make saving throws or die.
Well, that's the shit right there.
Fortitude saves, I hope.
Fortitude saves. You are attempting blood theft of mythic power, and you have got no place to store it, and your bodies are not mythic.
Fort saves, huh?
Dwarven resistance?
Sure.
Right on.
Oh, it is a spell or spell. Snake.
DC, or do I not want to know?
Roll.
Here we go. Thogrim's dead. Natural 1.
What?
Okay.
Natural 1.
Thogrim does not survive the electrocution and falls over dead. His heart immediately stops.
Sunny, breath of life?
Well, give me a second.
Oh,
Amadeus?
that's a death effect.
Well, we
this-
still
is
try.
Is this a death effect?
Yes.
It's not hit point loss. So.
Yep.
Can this be blocked by the death ward?
Is it necromancy? The death ward would just give you a bonus in the saving throw, so that doesn't matter.
Yeah, it gives you a +4 morale bonus on the saving throw.
Amadeus
Yeah.
Amadeus lives through the experience, but falls backwards. And Agony, his 4th save, who is not known for making saves. When it
He
truly
has
counts.
had
Balls.
an unusual string of bad luck with saves. It's
Yeah.
No, dude, I have an unusual string of bad luck with saves.
you do too.
Or rules, actually. Just rules in
Rolls.
general.
He rolls a 33 this time, and both him and Amadeus go tumbling back from the energy.
When Sonny has the opportunity, he's going to move forward and try to Breath of Life Thogrim to see if that works, which he doesn't know.
No.
Yep.
That's why you don't play with these things. He will try to Breath of Life you. Which,
Yeah, we'll see.
It's not hit point damage; it's a death effect. So I don't know.
This, unlike other spells, Breath of Life can be cast on recently slain creatures. If the creatures die within 1 round, apply the healing. Creatures brought back to life gain a negative level. Wait a second. Unlike other spells, creatures slain by death effects cannot be saved by Breath of Life. If this is a death effect, then he's dead.
Okay. What god does Thogrim worship? You are in Foundry, after all.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Thogrim doesn't have a deity.
Oh, that's not a better answer.
That's
He does not have a deity.
Okay, so you have this many rounds as Thogrim's spirit lingers and is basically trying not to, lingers, is clinging on to not be absorbed down into a particular artifact that the Imperium has set up in their city. You've got 6 rounds before your spirit has departed.
all right. So give me a second.
Now, there are also fun things going on. Sorry, Ahmed.
It's all right, man.
Barnabus, you now have Mythic rank 1.
Okay.
You are a tier 1 mythic creature. Choose your path and choose your powers. Brennos, you are now a 1st tier mythic creature.
Cool.
The sword is your device. Barnabas, your gem is your device. Slake is now a level 1 mythic creature, tier 1. His atomic core is his device. And Cog, you are now a mythic tier 1 creature. Your processor is your device. Widget, you feed the cloak and gain 1 mythic trial towards your next mythic rank by feeding upon this thing. Now, this was a mythic rank 6 being, and there's only 5 of you that are absorbing it. So I need a d20 from each of you to see who gets that extra little point. There was a chance that Barnabas could have become like a mythic rank 2 being if he did it all by himself. Highest wins, no ties, or reroll ties. Slake got a 10.
14.
Barnabas.
Okay, Barnabas, you get 2 points, which means you're halfway to mythic rank 2.
You have 1 trial.
Yep. And I'm keeping track of this stuff in the Book of Legends page in reverse. So Widget, you've gained a trial. You're 2 out of 4 for level 2. And
Can I limited wish that stupid asshole back to not be dead?
You know who has limited wish? The stupid
Widget.
asshole who's dead. Oh, you have it.
I have 2 mythic points left today. Can I limited wish the stupid asshole back to life? The thing is, it's a limited wish. It'll be like a reroll on a save or something.
yeah, it's kind of like you're jamming a hero point into him so that he can reroll his save. Yep.
Stupid.
You could also, thinking quickly, if you have something that is capable of holding his essence, you could basically wish his essence into a jar.
The problem I have with the essence into the jar is the spells to do that are higher level than 7th.
Ah.
They're 8.
A magic jar is a 5th level spell.
Magic jar. Magic jar. Oh, I could magic jar him. I was looking at trap the soul.
Yep. A magic jar would have a duration, so you just basically prolong.
Till morning.
Yeah.
I will give him I'm going to give him a reroll on a save.
Okay.
Uh,
So Sonny goes over, tries the breath of life. You're like, no. Everyone else is like reveling in their power. Barnabas has got this third eye and begins to levitate above the ground, and there's this purple light coming out of it.
Wait a second. Actually, Widget is aware of. Does Widget know about the? Widget knows about the soul trapping devices, right? Because he would only be doing this if he knows. Otherwise, it's like not critical.
I don't know if Barnabas would be like.
I think
Widget came from the world where they were using them.
Yeah,
so.
Widget's also in the middle of absorbing a tremendous amount of power. So
I'm going to roll a die, like a wisdom check or something, to see if he's paying attention. So I'm rolling a wisdom check to see if he understands. Okay, he's preoccupado.
Okay,
Yes,
so
so
Barnabas is rising off the ground and sort of in a yogic position is achieving knowledge and intelligence that was previously beyond him.
No. I'm taking a display of strength. I'm kidding. I'm not doing that.
No!
Oh no!
Don't be weak. I will pick up all the books.
Mixed up. Widget, and you guys know, you're witnessing that the gem in his forehead is his connection. Widget spreads his cloak like dark wings and begins to absorb energy from the Kabranex Node, from the evil intelligence behind the Kabranex Node. You always noticed the really midnight black cloak that he wore around his shoulders, but now it is obvious that is his item. Slake begins to glow atomic green. It begins to roar out. Cog's silvery tracery is just going nuts as little nodes of magic are following the lines, and he just begins to glow like a mythic machine. Brennos, when he plunges his sword into it, you hear the roar of a dragon emanate from the sword. And Brennos seems to have his eyes kind of flick into the back of his head as he's having visions. We'll get to his visions in a moment. Thogrim basically took the brunt of the death electrocution and allowed Amadeus and Agony to stumble backwards. Sonny goes rushing forward. Breath of life didn't work, and now you're doing a limited wish to wish a retroactive hero point so that he could re-roll his save.
Well, Sonny doesn't have limited wish. Sonny needs Widget to do that.
Okay.
Sonny is now trying to convince Widget that he needs to do it. So how many rounds is like flying in the air, cloaky,
Can Barnabas, with his wild arcana,
you still need a
magic
gem.
jar Thogrim into the gem he's got in his hand?
Oh, that's fun.
Yes?
Then I think that's what's about to happen. Once he realized, oh shit, his eyes popped out of his head.
Okay, Barnabas, knowing about the artifact, having plans, I heard Mark talk about having his future base of operations not being in a major city.
Yes. For this exact reason.
He casts a spell, and Thogrim's soul goes inside of the purple gem that is of his god's cave, the Glimmer of Geode, and could actually be part of his god. How long does Magic Jar last?
Hour per level. So 15 hours.
15 hours?
Okay. Widget's like wrapping the cloak and trying to pull it in. Barnabus seemed to get a lot of the power that was going on. Agony and Amadeus are just gawking at Thogrim.
That's not right.
Yeah,
Is this brain leaking out his ear?
Did you catch his soul?
I've got it right here.
You shouldn't die in. You shouldn't die here. No.
Yeah, no, it's a bad place to die. Anywhere in Foundry, bad place to die.
I'm not a fan of that, by the way. We should. You're not going to tell on me, are you? He's just looking at Barnabas.
About what?
Well, we should find what's causing that and make it go away.
You are welcome to do that.
Thank you. With your blessings.
Good luck with that. No idea what you're doing.
I'm just going to send that thing away to
No. We had this talk about you talking too much.
Did Thogrim fucking die?
yes, it looks like it. That sucks. A61, he gets promoted.
Up by the leg. Yeah, he's not coming to.
Yeah, so normally the use of Magic Jar is kind of... So I think Possession is what I want, or... There's got to be some way... you can cast Limited Wish, right?
No.
Do you have 7 Circle Arcane spells?
Okay, so Magic Jar is not going to work, so you're holding out the gem because you don't want to switch places with his spirit.
Oh, yeah.
What I'm saying is that Limited Wish can mimic a Magic Jar-like effect. So Barnabas is offering the gem as a phylactery or as a crystal to store Thogrim's body.
His soul. Put his soul in the gem.
At this point in time, 2 rounds have gone by.
Soul's in the gem.
Is it in the gem?
I can't put his soul in the gem. Here's the gem. Goes in the gem.
I can't put his soul in the gem. I am a druid. Why would I put souls in gems?
You put souls in squirrels, for fuck's sake!
I can put his soul in a squirrel. There's no squirrel here. Actually, there's a...
661 steps in. What can I do to help? Sorry, what can I do to help?
You're not... Your body's not strong enough. Go away. You'd just explode. Alright, so... Thogrim's soul in the gem. Hand the gem to me. Widget will take the gem, and he will cast a Limited Wish using a mythic point.
Okay.
To mimic a possession and or magic jar to force the soul into the gem. I would like to spend a mythic point to lure Thogrim's soul to the gem for him to willingly go in or whatever.
Yep. So 7th level Universal Limited Wish can mimic any Sorcerer Wizard spell of 6th or lower. Magic Jar is 5th. Because it's not exactly what a Magic Jar is doing, I'm adding 1 to the level. Possession is another spell that's very similar to this level of power. It's also a 5th. So, yes, you can basically, with the expenditure of, 1,500 gold pieces of diamonds?
Yep. I'm going to need another diamond from the pile.
Before his soul is pulled in, you do get the sense that it was being pulled somewhere else, but your localized Limited Wish spell managed to pull Thogrim's soul inside of it, and it's glittering. It's glittering purple.
You know you got one of them fucking things here, yeah?
And Thogrim may have a vision as he's inside one of the geoglimmers.
I don't know if you... We've got one of those fucking things here. We're not supposed to die here. You know, fucking right, you're not supposed to die here. Good to know.
place to get rid of unwanted stuff.
Are you all right? Says Amen to Barnabas. As you begin to fall back down to the earth.
Yes, I am quite well, actually.
I feel courage! Slake's going champion.
You just go ahead and Slake's champion.
Is he?
I thought he was going to be a trickster.
Trickster is actually it's a decently.
Oh,
potent...
it is. I can totally see a martial character going in trickster. It's just not Slake.
No, not Slake. There's too many spell abilities in it.
Yes.
So the Ascension was the blood theft of Kabranex Node.
All right. So here's the thing. We're gonna have to bring him back in the morning. Can we reincarnate him?
I have no other. I can't bring him back, so how do you do it? You're the one who's going to explain to him why he comes back as a goblin or a troglodyte.
Why are we bringing him back as a goblin or a troglodyte? Bring him back as a dwarf.
Can you raise the dead?
That's a good question.
Let me know how I could be useful.
He could breath of life.
We need to find out phylacteries, says Agony to Almadeus.
I could fabricate him.
Cog's like, yeah, he's already dead. There's nothing I can do.
Oh, what is it? Is the eyeball still chilling?
Yeah, the eyeball kind of got blasted along the ground. It floated up and then is just resting over the eye of the simulacra.
Curiosity killed the wizard.
Thogrim 6-1 goes and picks up the Thogrim's cannon.
That was interesting.
So, now we know the exact importance of...
No, Brennos is still
He's having a seizure.
having a seizure. His eyes roll back into his eyes. We'll get to him in a moment. So there's both Thogrim and Brennos. And then I think we take a break as we need to update some of our characters with their mythic powers.
Wolves should not do this.
All right. Who shall I visit first? Brennos or Thogrim?
Adam can use some time. I'm available.
Yeah, there's no change to Widget's mythic power because he's.
Yeah, Widget's easy.
Yeah. His mythic XP is now 2 instead of 1.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Thogrim.
Here comes the power.
Here comes the power. Oh, that was horrible. That was a horrible experience. The power went into you and had nowhere to go. You were electrocuted. You actually kind of remember falling to the ground and then feeling this terrible tug as this maelstrom of energy was just starting to pull you in, like you were over the event horizon of some giant black hole. And then you were starting to drift away from your party members. Like, oh, this is bad. There was some strange. You could hear several other souls in the city, screaming as they were going down this tube, or going through this maelstrom. And this great purple light came swooping in and enveloped you, and you are inside a strange amethyst cave at this point in time. It's all made out of amethyst crystalline structures, and you can see little images in some of the crystalline structures.
Take a look at some of these images. Start
a lot of the images are of Slake doing stuff. Like from Slake's perspective, it seems to be like recordings of him in some of your recent adventures. Some of them are just like idle moments, the way Slake talks, or by the echoey sounds when you touch some of the crystals, you kind of brush up against them because you're really a vaporous form at this point, a being of energy. You can hear Slake having conversations. What he says, it sounds like it's muffled a little bit and a bit echoey, like you're riding along inside of him.
Mm-hmm.
You come to the realization that someone has been spying on Slake. And after some investigation, they've been spying on Slake since, well, since the lake. Since
Slake
disappeared at the Nexus. He got knocked out by the dragons, and then this thing was placed inside of him. What are you looking for? You actually see like a full-on, fully corporeal Slake standing inside the inside this weird crystalline amethyst cave that you're in. What do you want?
Slake?
If it makes it easier for you to understand, yeah.
You're just part of his personality. You're not actually Slake, are you?
He's not that complex.
What do I want? Get back into my body, I guess. Figuring I died, and they put me here to store my soul.
Yeah, probably something happened if you're disconnected from your body like this.
Yes.
You're inside a piece of me. You're not one of us, though. You're not one of the eternal scribes. You're not one of the eternal philosophers.
Well, who are you?
I'm a glimmer.
And what is that?
A glimmer of Geo.
Slake. You've been recording Slake's activities and actions.
We are a being of light and knowledge and learning.
But why are you recording him? Just to understand and learn and record?
There were some that were suspicious of one of our disciples' true devotion. We wanted to observe his actions. We wanted to learn a bit about the world. It is not every day that an empty shell like this being presents itself to us.
Something like this is an expensive task. You should have asked for permission.
Knowledge and experience is for the taking. We do not need permission for that. It is our domain.
I'll leave this to the geographer anyways.
You seem to be of a solid mind. Crafter.
Crafter, mage, yes. I am.
We can offer you an afterlife, full of speaking to other individual intellectuals such as yourself, adding to our collective knowledge, being the glimmer of inspiration for the future students and disciples to come. While this empty shell provided a useful vehicle for us to travel, we believe that it was destiny that you are now inside us. Will you join us, Thogrim?
So you're telling me that I can spend the rest of my days, well, eternity, is that right?
Yes, with the others that have joined us, in the grace of the Glimmer, in the grace of the Geode.
Learning. What do you know about cannons there?
I would have to ask, but if you have distinct knowledge, you will be revered amongst those that join.
I do, and I'd like to increase it. Would I be able to experiment? Continue my studies? Talking is interesting, but I want to have some practical.
You have your life to live. Should your very capable companions figure a way to put your spirit back into your body, or to something of the like, might I suggest putting your spirit inside the empty shell that is this being named Slake?
It's not empty. There is a spirit inside this one.
Hardly worth our time.
Perhaps. But he's a companion. Would never do such a thing to him. Besides, his fingers are not good for crafting tiny things like I need.
How is it that you died? The voice slowly turns into a group of voices as opposed to specifically Slake. But Slake is still kind of talking.
Trying to absorb some energies. Special energies. I guess I didn't have a phylactery. I couldn't absorb, my body could not absorb this energy, apparently. I hope the others survived.
Join us. Worship at the clawed foot of the Glimmer of Geode. And we can help you with this.
Eternal knowledge.
When it is your time, we will not make this offer again.
Thogrim nods.
But you may have
This
time. But you may have time to think it over. It would only be rational.
This is acceptable to me.
Then go to the cave of Geode, and you may bond with him there.
The other gods I have heard of are strange. Don't get me wrong, so is this. But this strange I like. All right.
The Glimmer of Geode is a new god.
Tell me how to get there. Or maybe Barnabus can show me. I can teleport to it.
Yes, Barnabus is our disciple.
Will I be able to use a regular teleport? Or my greater teleport? Will that allow me to enter the domain?
Barnabus will bring you there.
Barnabus, then.
Bring this crystal that houses your soul with.
To Geode.
Yes.
Fair enough.
Now,
I accept your offer.
In the meantime, then, do not resist. We wish to absorb your experiences into the crystal.
Then I will be able to absorb the experiences of others. Yes.
Okay? The crystal isn't big enough to absorb everything that Thogrim knows. He's much too smart and learned and long-lived. But it does fill in little bits and pieces of your adventures that it doesn't understand.
Snake's like, fuck your magic, I'm out of here. And he's like, ooh.
No, Slake is purely a construct that they're using because they spent a lot of time observing, basically through Slake's eyes.
Yep.
All right. Not quite, but there might be a no longer blank spot on Thogrim's character sheet where it says deity.
Like a D&D game, but he doesn't have a god. Uh-oh. They exist, you know. It's like,
Too busy crafting cannons.
Maybe he just figured his buddy Brennos worshipped
Bre-
gods for both of them.
Brennos' religious experience is a lot less terrestrial, we'll call it. A lot less of a transaction, maybe? Brennos, you plunge the platinum sword into the sphere and
feed the dragon.
And yes, you feed the dragon. The small canary, which you now realize is one of the warning pets of a deity himself. There's some draconic deity whose 7 canaries warn followers of danger. The roar of the dragons and the coils of the tail, you think it's a tail, you hope it's a tail, kind of are all around you as you can hear and only see the light of divine beings gathered around. They're the light of beings arriving, and this is not a memory. This is actually happening. Your soul right now is on some astral journey as you look down, and yes, there is a silver cord coming out of your belly button. Can someone explain why we've come to this sword? Don't you recognize a god when you see one?
You hear that?
Your uncle seems to wormed in under the scales and is hiding from the other lights. He's actually tickling your toes right now. You're pretty sure with his tongue.
That would be a good time to fuck off.
I want to see.
Nice to see you too, Uncle.
Which god did you pray out to today when this happened?
Vergadin.
Vergadin. I gotta read Vergadin. You could feel Vergadin's presence because
The laughing dwarf, the merchant king, trade and wealth and luck and
Okay.
trickery and chance.
you can hear Vergadin actually firing some guns as he arrives. Damn, Durgar. Do you have to fire those in here? Well, we had to make a tactical retreat. What are we... Oh, Brennos. He called up...
Did Vergadin just go, oh, Brennos?
Yep.
Brennos will bow his head.
What's he doing in all that mess? Don't you recognize the platinum sword? Ah, oh yeah. Yeah, that's what it is. Very nice sword. You can't have it. A very loud gong strike of a hammer. You're pretty sure that the beard of Mordin is just watching the conversation.
What's happening? What's the enemy? What am I supposed to do?
Well, Mortal, he's got a lot of questions, as do they all. He is in a particular interesting predicament. There's a grumble from a dragon. It's almost like the dragon doesn't quite have speech. Yes. O great Morden, it appears the Platinum Sword has chosen not only a priest of one of the Morndinsammon, but a priest of all the Morndinsammon, and perhaps others.
There's eyes starting to like the toe area.
Yep.
Well, as a merchant, one has to be very open to deals with all sorts of beings. One cannot only trade with dwarves, as if they trade only with dwarves, then they only get dwarven things. Well, we should all be happy and proud of what dwarves have accomplished. Keep in mind that there are other races. Take the gnomes, for example.
And he's actually like appraisingly touching this gun that is this gleaming, oversized hand cannon six shooter.
Welcome.
Dirty Harry's 45.
If it wasn't for gnome craft, we would never have these things.
If it wasn't for gnomecraft and the foolish actions of a hero of the gnomes, we would not be involved in trench warfare in the Outlands.
Yeah, well,
Brennos is not going to shit talk Vergadin to his face, but he agrees with the Luddite is one of his character traits.
don't worry, the supply lines are coming and more innovations in warfare happening every day. Our artillery will outrange their artillery soon. And we dwarves are excellent at digging trenches.
As are the Durgar.
What at war? The dwarves are at war with the Durgar?
There's this loving sort of, you realize it might be Baranar, True Silver, that is having the discussion.
I spent lots of time worshiping her, so whatever I need some good in my life.
The revered mother, the mother of safety. There's just this warmth that passes over you, and she smiles down at you. They're not answering your questions directly.
You're stupid.
It's like you're a child in the room while the grown-ups are talking.
Exactly. Oh, look, Immortal showed up. Hey, how you doing?
This one is special.
He's long overdue, though. Are we certain that even this pact still needs to be fulfilled? You know, with everything going on?
Especially because everything is going on, says Morden.
Is this about Tia?
But there's this light that fades over you. It's like, oh, it's so cute.
Oh, he knows a grown-up word. Hey.
This mortal has seen much, but can only understand a piece of it.
It is about our house.
Morden's talking to you.
It is about our house being restored. About our house being restored in order and in glory.
Yeah, well, can't make an omelet without breaking a few eggs.
There's a scornful look to Vergadin from Morden, and Baranar feels guilty. There is no beauty in war, but best to end war as quickly as one can.
Well, there's all sorts of money to be made in war.
There's a glare from Morden again. There are things that we have yet to unleash. These aren't things that we should be speaking in front of this mortal, unless this mortal is one of them. No, he's enwrapped in the coils of the dragon.
Ah, yeah, our debt. Curious time for the dragon to claim the debt.
Perhaps we could do a test. A test of faith. If he has become so friendly with dragons, let us see how the dragons treat one of our own.
You know, when I said making deals, you gotta be careful with dragon deals. That's why what brought us here.
I might have drawn a dragon mad accidentally. He might have been mad before I got there, don't know for sure.
He seems to feel guilt for dragons as well as awe. Two qualities that would make an excellent priest for dragons.
Well,
I'm an order priest.
might be an interesting way. They never expect that. And we get to learn a few things. Yeah, I think this might fit. Besides, his holiness seems to be a little fractured.
He will not always be. And perhaps we can repay our debt to he, the Platinum Dragon. Yes. Yes, a great cycle of draconic kind is reaching its apex once again. What a terrible thing, says Baranar. Their cycles are older than ours.
Curious time for it all to be happening at once.
You know the truth of this, Fergus. Don't talk to the mortal. I agree. But, of course, our servant has free will.
Just
He likes the rumble, and he's rubbing your toes.
tell me what needs to be done and try to use little words.
He's very brave. It will put him in conflict. Yes. But if he succeeds, he will be. We will be in his debt.
What the fuck does it mean? His debt?
Fergus says, "Hey." You just kind of like this guy kind of leaning on the coils.
An interesting predicament you got yourself into here.
He kind of manifests as like a leprechaun. He's like playing a little bit of a like a lute.
King of the Merchants. It is an interesting predicament.
You're immortal. You got free will. It's like bread to us gods. Especially really powerful priests and warriors and people who do great things in our names. You know this.
What do they mean by saying, give them to the dragons?
Well, we dwarves are old. Morndisamman older. We've made a lot of deals along the way. You know, we've got friends. Sometimes frenemies. Sometimes rivals. Enemies. You know how it is. You seem to be open. Oh, yeah, look at you. Happy you picked me today. There are others that may not have, told you, reminded you you're immortal and you do have choice. We could find somebody else. Let's just say that we Morndisamman sometimes deal with some of the dragon gods because, some of them are arguably older than some of us. And, we made some deals with them.
I know of a crazy fucker who's trying to raise Tiamat or released him out onto the world of Volcanica.
A certain time, you hear this static, and you're like, requesting the Barnabus coordinates. Oh, sorry about that. Click.
Your sending stern is going funky.
Oh yeah. Don't worry, we're pretty entrenched in. Supplies have never flown better from across the plains, but you're kind of stuck in these coils here.
Never really felt stuck before today, but I have to admit that I somewhat stuck in the coils.
You know how you're kind of open to all sorts of gods and new experiences?
Yes?
What would you think if we broaden your horizons a little bit more?
How broad are we talking?
Let's just say there's this whole pantheon of dragons out there. You can still call out to us dwarves, but, you know, there's this sort of certain criteria where one of our own would be in need of dragons and get some shit done. We're kind of running out of time. You know, I guess we could find someone else, but not too often you hear Mord, you know, chief of the Morndisamman, creator of all the dwarven kind,
I'm familiar.
saying that he'd be in your debt. Of course, dragon politics are it's long understood afterwards, after they've done roaring and breathing fire on each other.
And if they come into conflict with the Morndisamman.
Oh, sure. There are Morndisamman. There are dwarves that are fighting dwarves right now as we speak.
So,
Don't worry.
As a show of faith to the Morndisamman, I must be faithful to the dragons.
We'll crack the entrenchment. Hey, this may save you from having to serve in the War of the Outlands. It's a little bit ugly down there.
I'd rather fight dragons than dwarves.
Oh.
That being said, on the morrow, if there is a morrow, there's a bunch of dwarves that'll be served justice. Just tell me what I need to do. Free will's an illusion.
So you're willing, you know, to expand your horizons, to also give worship to the dragon gods?
Pretty certain I've done worse things.
Hey, you gotta feel it, though. You gotta really, you know...
He says in Draconic. I learned Draconic in everything. He knows 3 languages: Common, Dwarvish, and Draconic.
Excellent. And he kind of reaches down and scoops up from behind your ear an egg. It's about the size of a normal egg, but it's scaled.
He's convinced this was one of those child tricks. Like it's,
Yep.
he's treating me like a kid.
He bumps it again. He bumps against your forehead, looks at it.
Yeah, that'll do. Open wide.
Okay. He sticks the egg inside your mouth and you swallow it down. By swallowing it down, you know that you are swallowing a dragon egg and commingling your blood with dragon blood and opening yourself to the devotion of dragon deities.
You're an egg and you're not going to butt heads in.
Well, there's one dragon deity that I get along with, and then like 7 anymore.
Do you swallow?
I swallow.
Okay. Brennos, you're like, oh! You snap back to the. And did you what path did you choose?
Pretty certain we're going it's either champion or like dual path, like champion or champion trickster or champion marshal.
I think you need third.
This group's gonna be all champions.
I was looking at Guardian, but it's like all the stuff requires things not to be able to hit you.
Yeah, it really does. Yeah.
And then Marshall has a bunch of good powers, but it's like it lets you get your allies more like attacks.
Yeah.
Brennos needs to be the one hitting.
Okay, so Cog's taking what?
I'm still deciding, man.
Okay, Barnabas?
Champ.
Archmage.
And Brennos taking champion to start? Because I think dual path happens later.
Third. I believe. Yeah.
I think dual path is a feat, so I think you could just spend your feet to do
I
it.
think it requires third.
Ah, it might be true.
Okay, so I'll put champion.
It's worth looking up.
I'll put
I'm
champion
checking,
for
I'm
now.
checking.
Yep, and then Cog.
I'm between champion and guardian.
Dual path requires first mythic tier.
Okay. I was thinking something.
Okay, so you're saying champion or guardian?
Yeah, I'm still deciding. I've been looking them both up, and so far it looks like champion.
Okay.
I don't know.
I think as the mythic characters need some time to be rebuilt, we'll push pause on the game, and then we'll get back once they've rebuilt them. Because I think you want your mythic powers before you return to the deiforil mines.
Yes.
Fine. Yeah, you're right. We're never. It's like.
Well, I could foresee perhaps a weapon being crafted for each of the members of the blood thieving
Barnabas
Steelrose.
just has a really sharp straw.
Yep. For Sunny, I'm also increasing your mythic trial by 1 because you defeated the Kabranex Node.
Mm-hmm. I think it's like if you defeat mythic threats on Volcanica or related to Volcanica.
Yep. So we're at Widget's got 2 XP, Sunny's got 2, Barnabas has 2 XP, Slake's got 1, Cog's got 1, Brennos has got 1. And then it looks like Thogrim may have a path through devotion to the to Geode, maybe during downtime. Go and commune with Geode, and then Agony and Amadeus are still looking for their comeuppance. Okay, I think we're going to name at least this first part of the game.
Okay.
Which is?
Do not want.
It might even be like thieves, or blood thieves, or
Paths
As
chosen.
thick as thieves.
as thick as thieves.
That's a good one.
It's good because blood is thicker than water. As thick as thieves. Nice. I need to add some notes about mythic. Okay, cool. And good place to kind of push pause on this. For those watching on YouTube, thanks for your support, and we'll see you soon with some newly minted mythic characters, and perhaps some thoughts about how to stick Thogrim back into his body or give him a new body. All right.
I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. Give me a new body. That'd be cool.
Hope you guys enjoy this as much as we do. Peace. Have a good night.
Thank you.